Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Gomu Gomu No Talk podcast, a podcast where we talk all things One Piece. We do chapter reviews, we do episode reviews, we talk about anything, all types of news about our favorite Straw Hat crew. And with me, I'm your host. My name is Lyle. I also go by Raboy online, and with me is my co-host, the lovely, most beautiful Austin. Say what's up, Austin.
What's up? What's up? Welcome back, lads.
Yep, and this is episode 18. Looking number
Yeah,
18.
give
Let's
it
give
up
it
for
up.
18.
All right. I love to talk about
Yeah,
sound
that
effects.
one
So
actually is amazing.
yeah, so let's get the energy up.
Mm,
This is 18 episodes. Really appreciate it that we've actually made it this far.
hmm
Um, so before we get into what we are actually going to be talking about today, so let's actually get into it. That I just want to say, if you guys are watching this, please subscribe, leave us a comment, like the video. It helps us out a lot, and
hmm
it keeps us going, man. Like I Austin loves looking at the analytics and all that stuff.
Yeah, I definitely check it a little
Seeing
too
the
much.
retention rate, and it is very, it makes me happy too. Like
hmm
seeing how well some of the videos do.
hmm
Even still, then it's just a whole
Yeah,
lot of
I
fun.
feel
So
like we
so
learn
please,
a lot from the analytics, like good and bad, But I feel like
yeah,
regardless, we always take everything that we see as a lesson. So,
yep. So let's get into it, man. So on our agenda today, all we got is a chapter 1155
yep.
of the manga. However, I don't know if it was planned. There was an extension for the most recent episode supposed to come out a few days ago.
Yeah, I think was it 11:36
Eight, it's eight
or
seven. I think
8?
it's
I
seven,
don't
seven.
even know.
It's 37.
37.
It was eleven thirty
Yeah.
seven. Um, it was supposed to come out. I guess they had a little delay. I don't know if it was a delay or it was planned. You
Yeah.
mentioned that it might have been planned, right?
Yeah, I remember reading beforehand that there was going to be some sort of break like 1 week, and I guess I don't know if it was planned or not, but I do remember seeing that a few weeks ago when I saw somebody like upload the episode list for the next few weeks. But dude, I was really sad. I was waiting all day for that episode.
Yeah.
Well, at least we
So
got the chapter that
let's look
day.
at the chapter, and honestly, I needed a break from last week's episode. Oh
Mhm.
my god, that shit! I'm still recovering, man. I'm
Yeah.
still watching that from time to time,
Dude,
but
that was a very heartfelt episode.
very very
But
heartfelt
I'm actually
episode.
so excited for the next episode. I don't know if you saw the
Yeah.
title of it, but it's
Um,
gonna be good.
yeah.
It's gonna
So
be really good.
yeah.
Mhm.
Let's
Yeah,
get into this chapter,
yeah, and
man.
I guess
Like,
before we get
you
into
want to
this
start off?
chapter, I just want to say like I think we're gonna try something new in which we're gonna kind of just go over the chapter pretty quickly, and then I think afterwards we're gonna open up um our conversation for discussions, and it should be in the timestamps below. So like if you already read the chapter and you don't I mean you could stay for the quick recap, but you could also just skip to our discussions as well till later on. But yeah, I guess do you want to start off with the chapter?
Yeah. Sure. So okay. So I'll start off like pretty briefly. Just cut in whenever you need to.
Yeah.
But it starts off basically where we left off was with beating Roxy Zebek and him pulling up on Loki after he was crying from falling off the cliff. Um, Basically he wants to go see Harold, and Loki's like, oh no, like he's not gonna come. He's not here right now, and he punches him just to try to see him. And
Mhm.
in Zebek's mind, he's gonna come pull up if his son is in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Right after he does that, we see Zebek's a fucking crazy swordsman. And I think it's funny,
Yeah.
like in that the panel before we get to the even more time skip. I mean
Flashback.
the flashback of the flashback.
Yeah.
He has that same pose
Roger.
Roger
Yeah.
had
The
when he was
divine
fighting Whitebeard.
departure or something.
Yeah,
Or
when he had like right before he wound up to swing on Whitebeard when
yeah.
Whitebeard pulled up on him. That same pose, it scares me, man. This guy's insane.
Mhm.
So we go back, and the first thing we see in the flashback is the reverie where they had that incident where the admiral died that we learned about in the previous chapter.
Mhm.
Zabak is just in Emu's room with
Chilling, like
Gunko,
just sitting watching.
aura farming, just
Yeah.
aura farming with Emu. And
Mhm.
he tells Emu, like, I'll be back. All right. the narrator mentions he's a worshiper of Davy Jones, and he knew there was nothing he could do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he just left. And they also said like this is the only time in history that this happened, the first and last time.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's anything we might know about the narrator, since he's speaking from the future, I assume this is probably the only time. So Luffy's never gonna do this. Blackbeard's never gonna do it. Buggy, nobody has ever. Zebek is the only one.
Yeah.
Crazy motherfucker, bro. So right after that, um, you see Harold running through on fire. Zebek sees him and it's like, "Hey, man," and like Harold's like, "Yo, you're the guy that they're blaming me for about kidnapping the kings to cause that like a commotion for him to pull up on Emo's room." And he's like, no, but then like they get into like this big hockey clash that
Mm-hmm.
like it's like similar to like how Whitebeard and Roger did, like split the skies,
And
like
was that in Wano?
conquers hockey. Yeah, they'll do the one
Yeah.
flash, like conquers hockey everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see this
I know
animated.
this is
This
gonna
is
be
gonna be
fire.
fucking
I think the
crazy.
narrator specifically says that the clash was like a 5 kilometer radius, like eradicated anything, like everything around them. But
Yeah, and it
you, oh
yeah.
sorry, yeah.
Right?
When they clash, you could see they're just kind of like laughing and acknowledging each other, and that's where they actually exchange names. Like he asked, I think Zebek is just like name yourself, and in which he tells him he's Harold. He introduces himself as like Rocks, and they kind of talk, they have like this brief encounter in which they're like, okay, let's talk again later, and they kind of plan to, it seems like they almost plan to meet in Elbath. He asks them which way is Elbath, and he's just like, let's meet again. And then again, the narrator, is carrying the last few chapters. After this incident, it shows that Rox has become a pirate. It shows his bounty poster, which I mean, I know Lau was probably gonna mention it later. It looks very similar to Buggy's wanted poster. And then it goes on to describe his feats. Yeah, you want to talk about his feats? Because he's got a
And
resume lined up.
this motherfucker is crazy, guys. Like okay, so we're gonna start off like this. Like so before he even talked about the feats here, he was in Emu's room. He did the whole he attacked Natty attack just to pull up on the king of the giants. This guy's an ancient giant. He just pulled up on him. Like probably would have killed him, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, so he like I have this list somewhere. He had he had killed an admiral,
Mm-hmm.
styled on Emu, kidnapped 5 kings. The hockey damage was 5 kilometers. I don't even know how many that is in miles. He had, he took down a ship with heavenly tribute for that was headed towards Marijois.
Yep.
Took that shit, went left, destroyed the gates of justice, and just did the race. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like he used that money to start his to fund his crew, and it's like this guy has done more in 10 pages than Mihawk did the whole
Yeah.
fucking story. I'm gonna be honest.
That's actually facts though. No, like literally
That's like I'm
these
like
few panels, it just was like dropped more lore about this character than like all everything we've seen of Mihawk so far.
I'm sorry for Mihawk catching this stray, but you've been in this shit since East Blue, buddy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Zebek is already in play. Like Zebek, I forget who it was. I think it was a YouTuber. This guy named Fexer. Like Zebek stocks you need to buy the Zebek stocks.
yeah,
This man these stocks are an all time high right now. So this might not be a good
yeah.
time. I don't even know. It probably will go higher.
I think it's gonna go
But
higher. Like this guy's a menace.
yeah, yeah.
And then
We
right after
yeah.
this, it also talks about how it goes back into the Davy back fights, and it says that's how he kind of built up his crew, and then we could see some of his crew right after this. I think that's Whitebeard. We see Stussy. We see Shiki. Um, and then they arrive at Elbath. So I guess this was between where they're talking to Loki right now. It's been what, 1 year, I think it said. Yeah, that was the reverie 1 year ago. So within a year, this is what he did. Like, which is kind of crazy. But
And
oh
yes,
yeah.
So it's like Zebek was just trying to say like, hey man, like we're trying to get you to join our fucking crew. And I think it was pretty funny. It was like Loki was just like, wait, did you tell me Harold actually came back for me? Like, like, it's just pretty sweet. It's pretty nice.
Yeah,
But
I think he calls it.
this
He's
is
like, this must be a coincidence that he came back.
yeah. So the next few panels introduces everybody,
Hmm.
right? We see Shiki. We can call him Mobster Shiki. I think the fan translation was like Wicked Shiki. I
Hmm.
don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Science Robert Miss Buckin, also known as Buckingham Stussy.
Hmm.
Don Marlin, Gangster of the West Blue. I'm pretty sure this guy is related to Beji, but
Yeah.
that's a that's a whole nother thing. We see Wang Ji, future Commodore of the Pirate Island. This guy looks like fucking Caribou and Koribu's daddy.
Yeah.
And we see Ganzui, which is which if you don't remember, which I'm gonna talk about later,
Mhm.
was one of the zombies on Thriller
I was
Bark.
gonna say this guy looked familiar. That makes sense.
And basically, so they're all like, uh, Zebek is like saying like, oh, like like please join my crew, and like Harold's like, no, I can't. I'm a king. I have shit to do on this island, and honestly, like he's telling the other guys like, if you keep following this guy, like it's only will lead you towards disaster. And they're all like, wait, they're all a bunch of individuals. It's like
Yes.
how Blackbeard has his crew now. They all have their own inner plan.
Hmm.
Stussy wants to make some bread.
Yeah.
Shiki's just following him around. Um, talking about like the smuggler Ganzui and Wangji is talking about like how much money there is on Pirate
Hmm.
Island. Same thing with Don Marlin. It's like these guys are all just similar to how Blackbeard's crew is now. They have their own thing going on, and they see living it up with Blackbeard or not Blackbeard, sorry, with
Zebek.
Zebek. It's just
Yep.
it'll just benefit them. They're
Yeah.
all just a bunch of
It seems like they're teaming up for the sake that
vigilantes.
they all can gain something out of it. Not
Yeah.
necessarily like they're working together towards a common goal, but like they each have individual goals that it seems like teaming up would help them all reach whatever goal they have or opportunity.
And hmm and this is when Zebek has this big moment that like
Mhm.
Loki loves so fucking much, and it's just fuck being the island of just Full Head Island or Pirate Island or Hachinosu, whatever you call it. It's just
Mhm.
he wants to be the king of the world,
Yes.
and he has this big thing. There's no authority in the world that lasts forever. Let's go. We tell we're unstoppable. I want to take over the world. I'll be the king. And then and Loki's like, oh my god, like the world,
He's like
like not just the
inspired.
like yeah, I
Yeah, this
loves
was a
it.
fire speech though, I will say. It got me kind of riled up too.
Yeah, I can see where Blackbeard gets it. Blackbeard has some good speeches too, man. I can see
Hmm.
where this comes from, bro.
No, yeah, and especially like I
And
already have like this internal voice for Zebek, and I'm just like, it sounds kind of like Blackbeard, and I'm just like, dude, this guy's spin right now. But right after
and
this, yeah, you can see the narrator kind of goes off, and it
the
talks about
narrator spitting.
yeah, like 4 years later, after this this talk on Elbath, it seems that Zebek finally carried out his plan, and the way he says it, it says that it calls the world to quake with terror, and it just shows the Rock's flag, and it just says, "Let's get going, boys," and that is the
Dude,
end of the chapter.
a lot of stuff going on in this chapter, guys. It
Yes.
is crazy fucking Z. So
So yeah, that
there's
was the summary, and I guess we can go into discussions. Like there's a lot to kind of break down in this chapter. Um,
um
but first we gotta do the cover art.
oh yeah, oh my god, yeah, this is
I
a
know.
really good cover art.
Yeah, this again, it's not a
Um
Yamato one. So, and this is colored
the
too.
dub.
It's a like a double spread. It's
Yeah, I love this. This is a good one.
it's the Straw Hats. They're on. It seems like some sort of island with a bunch of flying penguins. And they're very high up in the sky, and it's mainly just Usopp hugging Luffy for dear life. But it's really nice. A lot of detail in this one.
I love Sanji just like on the little bridge thingy, just like asking for like where my hug at
Yeah,
kind of energy.
I
Did
really
you
like the
did you
flying penguins. I think it's kind of
yeah, the
comedic.
fun thing is cool. I think like Chopper is pretty looking cute as always. We see the whole crew. This is a good one, man.
Hmm.
Um, I say Zoro with the backpack is pretty funny to me. I don't know why, like like it looks kind of so out of place on him, but hey, this is a good, and this is one of the cover arts where Oda's is not just insanely horny too. So
Hmm.
W,
Wholesome.
wholesome one.
Hmm.
Um, all right, so let's get into these discussions, man.
Yeah.
So there's a few things that like we should talk about. Like
Yeah.
for
Well,
one, I want to talk about is Emu's appearance.
hmm.
So like I feel like this is probably the one of the better things we get to see of Emu, and it's like I feel like the theory that Emu is a woman is just it's become more like that it's stronger in this chapter
Okay.
because at least for me, right, you can see that she has or she I'm gonna be confident and say she.
Okay.
Emu has a veil, right? Very similar to what at least from the outline to what Gunko has.
Yes, I see
And it's
that.
like for me, it's like if they're wearing the same thing, I'd be more inclined to think that the Femu is what's it called? A theory what's the word I'm looking for? More real than it
Like a
is.
viable
And I remember
theory.
I remember back in the day, like people were talking about how like um Emu might have been like a guy that really loved Vivi's ancestor. What was her name? Forgot the
Oh,
name.
this start with a
Nerona,
Q?
Nerona,
No, N, right? Or something?
Nefertari D
Yeah.
Nerona or something like it's something like that. I forgot what it was. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
And like they used the op for immortality, and that she took her body or some crazy shit. All
Hmm.
right, it was some nut shit, and like I could see that being a thing where it's using their body. It's a female, but for
Hmm.
to me, like I think the whole Femu thing is big and alive with this story
Yeah,
too.
I could see that. I
Also,
definitely think that especially seeing Gunko wearing whatever Gunko's wearing, it does seem very similar, like some sort of like veil almost.
yeah. Also, how long ago was this like from the current this is something I thought about. From the current
Like where they are in Elbaf right now.
yeah, what that I don't know
I
about
will
right
be
now.
honest, I got so lost within the last few chapters of the flashbacks within flashbacks because it will be like, oh, this was 57 years ago, but then a year ago from the 57, like I've just gotten completely lost in the timeline of things.
I was trying to like see if it matched with like Brooke, because you know how like Goku's
Oh,
supposed to be Brooke's daughter.
yeah.
See if this like matched with the timeline, you know.
Yeah, I'm not too
But
sure about that. I've gotten completely lost in exactly where we are. But
yeah,
dude, this interaction between Zebek and Emu needs to be studied because this guy is just aura farming way too hard, dude. Like like the fact I thought that one of the most interesting things that came out of this chapter was the fact that like again, the first thing that like the narrator really talks about between their interaction was that the man describes himself as a worshiper of Davy Jones. And I guess uh, for the viewers who aren't too sure about Davy Jones, I actually had to look into his wiki a little bit, and it says Davy Jones is a legendary pirate from long ago who is said to have been cursed by a demon to live on the seafloor. And I thought that was a really interesting line of being cursed by a demon.
yeah,
Especially since we know Emu kind of turns people into demons, right?
yeah.
And again, I thought it was like so random that this guy's a worshiper, you know? Like not really like I think that's a little different than a follower. And we could see that because he later in the chapter, he that's how he recruits, his entire team. And again, if you haven't watched was it Long Ring Island arc, the Foxy Pyre arc?
Long ring, long land.
Yeah, Long Ring Land, yo, fire arc. I actually love that arc. Now's
Yeah,
the
I
time
think
to
it's
go
like
back and watch it.
I think the the cool thing about what he did when he got all his crew members with the David back fights is like he didn't just like try to like overpower them. Like
Hmm.
he did like all types of different competitions. Like if you look in the video in like that
Yeah.
little panel,
Hmm.
he did like racing,
Yeah,
like
it looked like boat racing.
shooting competitions,
Yeah.
like boxing, whatever the thing he's doing with the hat. It's like
Hmm. I think that's like
he did,
the it's like the cups, and then you have to like pick. I'm not exactly too sure, but I thought the boxing one was so funny. Especially, it just reminds me of Afro Luffy. When they were boxing each other, Foxy
yeah,
and Luffy. So yeah, it seems like it wasn't just like hands. Like it actually had
yeah,
like different kinds of I guess competitions, in which
yeah.
this guy's him apparently.
Yeah, he's a big
He's a gambler, bro.
big admirer.
Hmm.
Jonesy and Pryor. That's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and there's like another thing too, man, is like how fucking strong like this guy has to be like the strongest person that's not named Emu like we've ever seen, right? Like
Yeah.
stronger than Roger, stronger than Whitebeard, stronger than Shanks, stronger than Mihawk, all of these. Like I know like agenda piece is like everyone there's some people that think that like oh the current generation is strong. No, man. This motherfucker was a problem, bro.
No, I was gonna
Like
say this guy should have just pulled up and killed an admiral. Went to was it the Holy Land? Dude, he took down the gates of justice. And
yeah,
Law had to bring this up to me because I actually didn't really remember the gates of justice, but I'll throw a picture in right here. But bro,
that's
like
just big as fuck.
it's huge.
Yeah,
This guy's resume is completely stacked. You know.
he pulled up on Emu and spun the block, bro.
Hmm.
This guy is the way before we even see all the feats, right?
Hmm.
Of Emu, not Emu, of Zebek.
Zabek.
They talked about Zebek like he was goddamn prime King Von, bro. Like he was like out here just a menace for no
Yeah.
fucking reason,
Yeah,
dumb
and
as hell. Just and he actually backed it up
oh
like King
yeah.
Von did. Just- but like in all seriousness, it's like this guy is fucking like he kidnapped 5 kings, like just to pull an emu, and it's like I think it's kind of funny. Like I don't know who's talking in that panel. Like maybe Emu just like talking third person.
Mhm.
I guess Emu talked in third person a little bit when they were when she took over Gunko's body too in what's it called during the events in Elbaf. But man, this guy's fucking insane. And I also want to talk about too is like, dude, what do you think like um he has a devil fruit of some sort?
Oh yeah. So this is one thing that I think would be is a really good discussion. And I think we're gonna actually do a poll, and we probably will discuss this next episode, seeing what the poll results are. But yeah, does Zebek have a devil fruit? And I guess looking at Blackbeard, since I guess that's his son, like Blackbeard only farms devil fruits, you know what I mean? And he's a really big believer in the power of devil fruits. Dude, I could see Zebek having a double fruit. But I also think that this guy is just ridiculously strong, regardless of whether he has one or not. Like we can see between his clash. But one thing that I wanted to bring up was the way the chapter ended was it said that whatever the his when he started carrying out his plans, it caused the world to quake with terror. Um and I thought the word quake was a really interesting term to use, knowing that
Yeah.
Blackbeard has the quake fruit. Obviously, Whitebeard had it previously. I don't know um if in this timeline right now if Whitebeard has the the quake devil fruit,
Yeah.
but
But like
maybe he does have the quake fruit. Who knows?
so there was something important too, like when he had that little like stance when before he attacked Loki.
Hmm.
It says Rox's sword attacks were famous for blasting everything in sight, like a
Yeah.
giant hammer or a cannonball.
Mm.
And I remember when I read that, I remember someone was saying, "Oh, maybe it's like how the guy with, like the booger devil fruit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be like,
Yeah.
everything it just blasts, right? And I'm just like, I remember someone mentioned below that. I was like, or it could just be like a reference to like, you
Just
know,
how strong this
a
guy
fucking
is.
no, it could just be like to like his attacks are just like earthquakes,
Hmm.
basically. Whereas like it could
Yeah.
just be he could use it like we'll maybe see how he uses a sword to enact upon like the tremor
Hmm.
fruit or something, you know?
Yeah.
Which would be
Because I was
fucking
wondering, do you
insane.
think he has like? I think there's a possibility of him having the quake fruit. That would be an interesting theory, especially since like obviously we know Blackbeard specifically hunted specific devil fruits. You know, he got the dark fruit, and then he obviously hunted Whitebeard for the quake fruit. Um, and I mean, I could see him having the quake fruit. To be honest, I think that'd be an interesting um idea, especially with the way like what we saw in this chapter. And maybe I'm getting too caught up on the way the wording of the the way the chapter ended, but that's something I actually thought about like while I was reading it. But I think we're gonna
Yeah.
put up a poll like, does Zabak have a double fruit, and we'll probably discuss it a little bit more next week or something, or when the next manga chapter comes out.
There's one thing I also wanted to see, well, wanted to pick your brain about
Mhm.
is there's been a theory that God Valley is Thriller Bark.
Oh, okay. I think
and
I read something about that.
and I think Guanzi
Hmm.
being on Thriller Bark, he's like the elephant guy. You'll see him whenever like there's like you can pull
Yeah,
up a
he's the
picture
big
when I finish.
guy.
Big motherfucker. Um
Yeah, I'll throw a
I
picture of
think
him in
he,
Thriller Bark and also him in the chapter in
I think
there.
the fact that well like he what what's his face? Can't even Moria had Gonzi and Captain John too.
Yep,
It's like
that
their
kind of
bodies
supports
must have
it.
been like
Hmm.
just been on Thriller Bark and it's like fuck it, let's just make this into a goddamn fucking island, right? It's just like
Yeah.
that being Thriller Bark would be super funny, but it's like yeah, I think that's been a theory that's been going for a
Hmm.
while, and I kind of feel like this has been like this kind of just supports it even more too.
I could see that, especially because it's just like we know like after the events of God Valley, like Zebek is completely erased from the world, you know, and I would assume that the government like took his body and everything too, like to make sure, and they probably just left the rest, in which maybe Moria pulled up, and that's how he ended up getting was it Captain John and then Guanzu.
Yeah, Ganzi
So
Wu.
I actually thought that was a really interesting theory. I could actually see that, to be honest, especially because it's like, how do you even get? Because I assume these guys are super strong, you know.
Yeah.
Like, where are you
Dude,
finding these guys?
these guys on Quebec's crew is crazy. You see that you see like you think there's a chance Shiki, I don't know, like do you think he might be from Wano? Like look at what he's wearing and like he's got his
Mm,
swords pulled up too. I
yeah,
feel like
he has the Wano fit and he has the swords, you know. I could actually see
he
that.
could be from Wano. And there's also another one too. Well, like there's a lot of these guys look like similar to these other characters. Like I think the big one a lot of people's talking about is Don Don Marlin, where people say he might just be Beji, like a relative to Beji, maybe
Hmm.
like his dad or something. I
Yeah.
think that'd be pretty cool. But I think the one that's is supported even more is that Wang Ji looks so much like Koribu and Karibu.
Hmm.
I don't know. What did you? I don't know if you saw something about
No,
that
I
too.
saw.
But these guys might.
I mean, when I saw the character, I immediately thought that as well. To be honest,
Yeah.
but
I.
I thought it was weird that like they describe Shiki as a mobster, you know. But then you see Don Marlin. I'm like, dude, this guy looks like the mobster in the crew, you know.
Yeah. I think Wicked was a better name, like a better
Hmm.
like English
Yeah,
nickname for him. I think it was Wicked. It might have been something else, but it was a lot better than Mobster Cheeky. You know.
yeah. Because when I
But
think of Shiki, I don't really think of a mobster, you know, especially since he's dressed
I
as like a samurai almost. It's kind
yeah,
of weird.
dude. Everyone on this fucking crew just has insane aura. Like it's just
Mhm.
like,
Oh,
oh my, like
individually, they're stacked.
I can't wait till we see like more like all of them. Like like there's some one we got to with Captain John.
Hmm.
Oh, not like Captain John. The one we got. I guess we got in God Valley, but I want to see everyone, man. Like I really want to see like how that all looked during while they're fighting at God Valley.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
I can't
what
wait till.
I actually wanted to bring this up is that the chapter ends with the narrator talking about them kind of committing and going through with their plan and like how much it like shook up the world. Do you think we're gonna like the next chapter we're gonna really get to see like what they did or maybe possibly them fighting and stuff?
Like at God Valley, or just in general.
Just in general, because I don't think that is this next part referring to the God Valley incident, or is this more so just talking about like them starting
Being
their
menaces.
yeah, just
Yeah,
being like being menaces to the world now, you know?
I want to like know how that will relate to with what we're going through in Alabama with like Loki, just because it's supposed to be the Loki and we're straying from the Loki and Harold like stuff, right?
Like
Because like
yeah, because
everyone's
this
so
was the
focused on the
Loki
Beck shit.
Herald backstory, and somehow within like one or two chapters, it completely changed, and this is the Zebek backstory now, you know?
But remember, this all is supposed to make what happens in
Like what
that
happens
day
to Harold.
make sense.
Yeah. Makes sense,
Yeah.
right?
So I, I, it's funny. 'Cause it's funny. Like you and I mentioned that is like because I did completely forget that this was supposed to be the Loki backstory.
Yeah.
So it's just but yeah. So that's gonna be that's fucking funny to me. But
Mhm.
the biggest one too. Oh my god, I can't believe forgot to mention this is the buggy the buggy the clown reference.
Oh yeah, I know I talked about it when
Is that
we were going over the chapter. It looks just like Buggy's what's it called? His wanted poster.
what are the chances Oda's just trolling the fuck out of us?
I honestly think he is. I think that this was just Oda having fun and he's just like kind of poking fun at that theory, you know?
Dude. Because I thought there was a chance that Beck was gonna be just some fucking dumbass like Buggy, right?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that theory so fucking much. But I'm still a believer that Zebek is Buggy's son or Buggy's father. My bad.
Yeah.
That'd be a big switch. So, but we're only really gonna get to see like what the second color of Zebek's hair is.
Hmm.
If it comes out blue, oh my god, it
That'd be
is.
crazy. I mean, I know that like you're gonna be your Buggy stocks are going up, you know?
Yeah. I think it's crazy how fucking droop like his eyes are fucked up. It's like people
Mhm.
say that's like one half of that is Buggy and the other half is Zebek. And not Zebek is Blackbeard.
Mm.
Um and there's another one too. People were talking about like is there a chance like Zebek is in Blackbeard or something,
Okay,
right?
that's
You know
what
when
I
he
wanted to bring up to you because like when he talks about obviously he pulls up to Umu and immediately he just says, "I'll be back like right here." Like, um, do you think that's like some sort of reference to? I feel like again most time what's the most believable is that Blackbeard is acting upon Zebek's will and like carrying on what he wanted. But then I know that there's a huge theory that like Zebek is actually within Blackbeard himself, and the multi-personality theory or like the multiple souls in a person theory. Um, After these few chapters, I'm kind of starting, and I'm a big non-believer. I don't know why. I'm starting to kind of believe it.
no, I don't. I just like I I think the multiple souls theory is the multiple personality theory is actually real,
Mhm.
right? With like Blackbeard might be some sort of like I actually do believe it. The
Some sort
conjoined
of
triplet,
conjoined
like
triplets, yeah.
the three the pattern of three in his design
Oh
is
yeah.
way too
It's way too much. He has three
coincident.
pistols, bro. He only
Way
has two
too
hands.
three knots in his beard, three skulls on his banner. He might
Hmm.
have three double fruits. Who knows? It's like
Yeah.
this
I mean, he already
guy
has
is
two, and that's already like that's currently where we are in the story. That's completely unexplainable, like as to how somebody has multiple devil fruits. But
but
I
him
know that there's a theory that that specifically has to do with the dark fruit, right?
Yeah.
But
Someone
again, we're
was
not too
saying it might
sure.
be. I think someone said it's like the moon god fruit or some shit. I don't
I did
fucking
not
know,
hear
bro.
that.
I remember someone there's like a big YouTuber that talks about it like that, but I'm
Mhm.
just like, "Bro, that's some wild shit." But I don't subscribe to the whole Trebek is like inside
Inside
fucking Blackbeard.
Blackbeard, I'm not
I
too big on that one.
I do think it is the metaphorical like his will
Mhm.
lives on kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know.
I think
Uh,
so. I think at the end of the day, I think that that's the most realistic um theory is that Blackbeard is just continuing on with Zebek's will and what his plan was. Because again, it seems Blackbeard has the exact same plan as what Rock said here. Was to ultimately be king of the world and to kind of obviously create this pirate island paradise for himself and then make bigger moves after that.
yeah.
But one thing I wanted to bring up was Loki's reaction to hearing Zebek's plan, I thought the way that we see, because again, I think one thing that is very rare for us to see is Loki happy or smiling. And at the end of the chapter, he actually looks, he's smiling, listening to Zebek, and we know that he admires this guy a lot. And I thought this was very similar to kind of the way like Luffy almost looks at Shanks, where he like really admires him. And dude, it's just nice seeing Loki happy for once too.
It makes a motherfucker cry, bro. It makes the
I know.
motherfucker tear up. So
I
yeah, I love
Yeah,
shit.
I see why he looks up to this guy. Like this guy's resume is completely stacked. Like he is him, Like he
Yeah.
says all these things and he actually makes the moves too.
You give it up for fucking Loki, man. And give it up for Loki and Trebek, dude.
Yeah.
The fact yeah, that is insane. I like man, you know what I'll do like think too, man, is like I actually really like Rox's his flag.
Oh
The
yeah.
the flaming skull. Do you think that might be a reference to something, or maybe that's pushing it?
Oh, it could be. I really don't know what it would be a reference to though. May
Yeah.
possibly his devil fruit, but who knows? Um, One thing I want to bring up was that it's interesting to see like Zebek's relationship with Harold. Dude, they seem like boys here in this chapter. Like they end up on this island and it just seems like they're just having a good time. Like they're having a feast, they're just talking, like, and you could see how much they have respect for each other. And then we can
Yeah.
see like I mean the whole chapter he was just really trying to get Harold to join his crew. It seems like he really admires his strength and admires him almost as a person, and to kind of see this and then also see how Loki admires him. And we know in the it was actually a few chapters ago, like Loki tried to join his crew and dude, Zebek was not about it, like he beats him,
Yeah.
uses his sword, beats him, and was just like, nah, like you're not. And I guess to give Loki some slack, he was still a child when he tried to join Zebek's crew, so like, but I'm kind of surprised he didn't take him in.
Hmm. I'm looking through the comments at Viz, and then someone's like, maybe the will of D is the will of Davy Jones.
Oh, dude, that's something I
And
I was like really, for some reason I looked a lot into David Jones that while I was reading this chapter, because again I feel like we've never really heard anyone talk about Davy Jones, and then all of a sudden like we're getting a lot of references to this mythical character, because again we don't even have a picture of who this guy is. He's supposed to be a pirate, a legendary pirate from a very long time ago. We don't even know exactly when.
what if he's Joy Boy, man? Oh my god.
Yeah, but I thought it was so interesting to say like again, they say that he was cursed by a demon, to live on the seafloor. And knowing what we know about, Emu, when we saw Emu take over Gunko, I feel like you could only describe that as a demon, like she literally had the pitchfork with the horns. She had the tail with the pointed arrow. Like I thought that was a really interesting description when I was reading Davy Jones' bio.
Yeah.
And I thought that there might be some sort of connection there between Emu and Davy Jones.
Maybe.
But who
I
knows?
I yeah, so what do you think what's something you would be looking forward to next chapter? Like what would your ideal like next chapter be?
Ideally, next chapter, I want to see exactly how they carried out whatever plan that Z- Zebek was talking about. Like what caused the world to quake with terror. Like what exactly did he try to do? I'm not sure if again. I know we talked about it earlier. I'm not sure if this is exactly referring to the God Valley incident, but I would want to see them fight, to be honest. Like that's for me is ideal, is to see them in action, like see them attack Mary Joie. Because again, that's what he said, is like he wants to build up this pirate island, and it seems like 4 years like is definitely enough time. And we can even see Pirate Island in the panel itself and them leaving. So I think for him, exactly what he said was that he was gonna wipe out the Navy and the Holy Land, Mary Joie. So I would say want to see him pull up. But what about you? What do you want to see in this next chapter?
I don't I'm trying to like I don't think we'll see
I don't think
I
we're gonna
think
see it
I
though, to be honest.
I don't think we're gonna see any more Zebek stuff, to be
Yeah.
honest. I think we're done with the Zebek stuff, and then we'll get more into. I mean, ideally, I would want to see more Zebek stuff, but we gotta like remember this is a Harold
This is
Loki
a Loki
backstory, right?
backstory, so apparently.
So I do think like this will. I do hope that we'll, I guess, get back to on point like how this will all like relate to the events going on now. So
Mhm.
maybe since emu since that was the first time and the only time that like someone's pulled up an emu's thing, emu might make more of a front to try to like take stuff under control, and that's how they got into like relations with Harold, into them getting to the point where the giants had to kill Harold, you know what I'm saying? So maybe all this stuff will tie together that will
Mhm.
lead up to that event, because you gotta imagine on like in the side of emu is like, dude, this is the only time it's like 700, 600 years at that point
Yeah.
that someone's ever actually done that shit. Like, dude, come on. Like, there has to be some like I'd be fucking shook.
Oh
So
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, ideally I'd want them to I'd want to get back. I'd want to
Mhm.
get back to like how all this stuff leads to that event. As
Yeah.
much as I would love to see Zebek
More Zebek.
fucking shit up. Oh my god, dude, I love rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I could see
I'll
that. I could see it going back to, because again, I thought the whole point of Loki's backstory, as well as Harold's backstory, was to reveal, um, again, or obviously we know like who killed Harold, and it wasn't Loki, but like why, you know, um,
yeah,
and it goes back to the idea that like Harold failed his mission or something, like Emu's mission to the world government or something like that. So I could see it kind of cutting back to there, but it might just cut back to present day, like Elbaf. And again, if we knowing where we are in Elbaf, it's actually still in complete turmoil. Like I think Emu's still there, right? Through Gunko, if I believe. It's actually been
yeah,
a while. I'm actually having a little bit of trouble remembering exactly what's going on.
yeah. Luffy and gang are still listening to Loki's yapping.
Oh yeah, but then the rest of the gang went up, right, to kind of deal with what was going on in Elbaf.
Yeah,
So maybe it's time for them to kind of go back up now. I would be excited to see that as well.
yeah.
But I
Oh,
guess that's pretty much it for the discussions, right?
yeah.
And one thing
Is
I
there anything else you want to add before we go?
yes,
What,
ratings.
what's
We
up, bro?
forgot to do the ratings.
Oh yeah, this chapter's a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna
Oh
just say
yeah,
it.
I was
This
gonna
is a 10
say
out of 10
this is
chapter.
easy, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 stars. Yeah, dude, we
Back to
like
back
like
10 out of 10 chapters, by the way. Last one
yeah,
I rated a 10 out of 10 as well.
Oda's cooking, bro.
Mhm,
There's nothing much else, bro. This is like insane chapter from the spoiler reveal.
mhm,
Everybody was talking about how fucking nuts this chapter is gonna be.
mhm.
10 out of 10. Did not disappoint once we actually got to see the panels come out.
Oh yeah.
And Zebek is a fucking menace.
Mhm.
That's
Get
it.
your
That's all I gotta
Zebek
say.
stocks now. It seems like it's only gonna keep going up, to be honest.
Yeah, because the
Like,
next time we're gonna see more Trebek lore, it's gonna keep going up and up and
yeah,
up. Because you gotta keep the way Trebek dies probably is fucking badass,
yeah.
right?
I
You
think
trying to
that
tell me
eventually they're gonna show the God. I actually think that eventually they're gonna show the God Valley incident. To be honest, especially after seeing how much they're showing of Zebek, I think I could see them showing the what happens in God Valley.
yeah, I do too. So
Mhm.
I,
But if you made it this far, please like, subscribe, drop a comment. We should be posting up some polls, and I think that'd be fun for us to kind of discuss stuff in the polls, and as well as like see what you guys are thinking about. Leave a comment in the polls as well, or even in the comments below.
yeah. Dude, like, yeah, hit up those polls because that's gonna be stuff we're gonna be talking about for the next chapter for the next episode.
Hmm.
See how many you guys think about certain things. Well, this gonna be put up. Make sure you guys subscribe, whatever platform you listen to, like the video, follow, whatever. Um, yeah, that's about it. So next week,
Yes. What should we
before we close
expect?
up, next week I don't think there's a chapter. I might be
Yeah.
wrong. No
I
chapter.
also heard that
If
too.
there is
No
a
chapter.
spoilers, if there's spoilers and it's something that because I read the spoilers, if it's something that like I think it's gonna be a good video,
Oh, I'll be
we're
down
gonna
to
talk
discuss
about it.
that. Yeah.
Um, no spoilers, so we get spoilers. Sorry, no chapter. Should be an episode review next week,
Hmm.
and we'll go from there.
Yep.
Did you want to say anything before we close it off?
Nope. I think that's it. Stay tuned.
All right, that's it, guys. Thank you, and see you next week. Peace.